and as people that I absolutely adored and loved to work with. So it was just one of those experiences, where kind of liked all of it.
Here.
Loved it.
What was it like to work with Marcia Cross?
She's so funny. We used to laugh because, I remember after that, I got cast to play like the Secretary of State or something with Benjamin Bratt and Dennis Hopper in the E-Ring. And she just laughs. She was, Kelly, you get cast to do these things. I mean, do they know who you really are? I'd be off at Hermes buying a Kelly bag. Like before, when I wasn't working, I'd be like traveling to Europe. I was just so not, And so she would just laugh. Oh, you playing the Secretary of Defense has got to be, just because she knew me, it was just like we had this relationship. And with her too, where she comes off so serious and sort of this certain way, when really like she's just this soft, like loving, like most kind human being. And she always gets just we would always laugh about how we're cast and how funny it is to see each other play these roles when you really know who each other are, in real life. It was fun.
And you guys were on, I don't think you had any scenes, but you were on Quantico together, right?
We did, but two different, we played, we didn't get a chance to work at the same time, I don't think.
That's what I thought. What about, was there ever like a storyline of Megan's where you're like, this just jumps the shark? And like, I mean, if you can remember, because I know it was a long time ago, where you're just like, I know it's Melrose Place, guys, but this is just so out of character for Megan.
All of it is. Like literally you'd read the script. I mean, every script, and you'd think you've got to, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to make this work? But that was the fun of it. That's also a training in a way, because when we're doing Gossip Girl, and sometimes like the young actors would come in and they'd say, God, how do I say this? And this, I would never say this. I said, oh yes, you would. If somebody followed you around with a tape recorder all day, you'd be surprised at the things that you say, you would really be surprised.
Was that challenging as an actress? Like, especially with Melrose, because so much of it just pushed the limit that you're just like, you have to play it with a straight face because it's true to the character. That must have been a good challenge, right?
Oh, it's the most fun. Absolutely.
What about, how was it? You've had scenes with Alyssa Milano. What was that like?
Oh, she's so adorable. I know my battery's low. I'm going to have to.
You sound good either way. You can still hear me, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You sound like the same, basically. Can you hear me?
I can hear you though now.
You can't?
What happened?
That's a good question. Maybe you have it on headphones.
Have it on what?
Like maybe you have it on, can you hear me now? Now? Let me see.
We'll be okay. I'm just going to keep
you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why. Maybe, did you unplug the headphones or trying to think? It's weird because you heard me when I first came on without the headphones.
Yeah, I unplugged and then
let's try it again. Can you talk? Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
No, I can't. Yeah, it's weird.
Anyway, it's fine. We'll just do it like this.
All right. As long as you're comfortable. What was it like working with Alyssa Milano?
She was so beautiful. She still is, but she was just like this beautiful, smart, whip smart, what came on. She would always talk about like health and nutrition. And she was just like a really cool girl. But we didn't have a ton of work together, but I always thought she was just really cool.
No, I think you had like a lot with like Thomas. You had a lot with like Jamie Lunar. What about Aaron Spelling's like Lucky Penny? I mean, I have to ask about, Heather Locklear.
Oh, Heather. I mean, she's like the most beautiful woman ever created. I mean, if you just physically, I think she's just the nicest person. She was just, and funny, like really, really funny too. Like, she and Jack Wagner were hysterical. I mean, very funny. And Jack's sense of humor. Oh my God. So, yeah, she was everyone's like icon. When I came on, I was like, oh my God, Heather Locklear. She's like amazing and beautiful. And yeah.
do you have like one or two, like one overarching memory of just like, this was a hilarious story from the set, or, you know?
I don't know. Like I remember Heather, when we do our read through, she'd always come in and have like a huge hamburger and French fries. And we'd all be like, how can she eat like that and look like that? Like that was always like what when you were talking about Heather came to mind. But I don't know. I just remember like being in the trailer in the morning and how everyone was really a family. I mean, my takeaway was what a beautiful experience. Aaron Spelling was such a dream to work with. You know, he remembered everyone's name, so many details about your life. You'd see him at an event and he'd come up and ask you things. You think, how does he even remember that? Or, you know, he's got so many people that work for him and so many shows. And he was very unique. And you see why he was so successful, and a very, very nice man.
And he just remembered like little things about you and your, yeah, I mean, I would think the same thing. Like I mean, I don't remember what I did last week practically.
Yeah, exactly. And he was so kind that way, and just, yeah, brilliant man.
Have you ever, like, what are your guilty pleasures? You know, like for me, one of them was Melrose. Did you get into like any of your co-stars projects, you know, such as like Desperate Housewives, like Charmed with Alyssa, like anything like, what are your guilty like TV pleasures?
Gosh, I mean, I
Or are
don't
you not
watch
a
a lot of
TV?
TV. My TV's not even plugged in. I don't even, I mean, occasionally I'll like watch a movie on a plane, but I really don't watch a lot. I watched like Downton Abbey. I've watched The Crown here and there. I love action movies and that kind of thing. But I did watch Desperate Housewives when Marcia was on. Trying to think of what else, other shows.
Desperate Housewives was a great one.
So good. So good.
What was it like on Melrose to work with Lisa Rinna?
Oh my God. I love Lisa. There's no one like Lisa Rinna. She's like such a unique, funny, beautiful, creative person. I love her so much. And I always admired her energy and how she was always so up and positive and just rolled with things. You know, she just didn't take it personally. She just rolled with it and was always very smart business wise and savvy, doing really interesting things and really building out her career in a creative way for herself, I thought, you know, in her decisions, whether it was, she was like, she opened a clothing store way before anybody kind of celebrity wise was doing that. And then she posed for Playboy pregnant when like nobody was thinking of doing that. And she's an innovator in a way, you know, in her own way. And a great person. I love her. She's just very inspiring.
She's an innovator and a hustler,
And
in like
exactly.
a good way.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
I haven't watched any of that. You know, have been working, had two kids, been traveling. I mean, I've just, you know, my bandwidth is like, if I sit on a plane, I watch something, but
Well, let me tell you, playing Lisa Rinna on The Real Housewives of, I like Taylor McBride has nothing on Lisa Rinna, the actual character actress on Real. I mean, this is the role that she was meant for her entire life. Like,
for sure.
well, you know, you're in LA now, but I know you spend a lot of time in New York, between the two cities. Would you ever consider Real Housewives if someone picked up the phone? And have you ever been approached?
I don't know if I've been approached. I may have at some point. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of doing these other things. I just started a global shopping platform, co-founded that, and an app where it's a social media app where you're sharing sort of knowledge and experience and like really information. So I've been kind of doing kind of these other things, but I don't know. Maybe, why not?
I have a lot of housewives on this show here. And so not knowing you, people do come to me at times and say, like, could you suggest anyone for housewives? At one point for New York, they were saying, can you suggest, I have to come out of the closet and tell you this now. They were saying, like, can you just suggest, without knowing these people, actresses that live in New York that are probably like the right demographic? And I have thrown your name in there, Kelly, more than once. So if you ever did get a call and you don't want to do it, I apologize because I put your name out.
You get 10%. Okay.
You know, I mean, you're going to have to drink and you're going to have to fight on camera though. So I don't know.
I know. It's a lot.